Hey, what's
Hey,
going
what's up,
on?
Mr. McPherson? Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Live and direct from Starbucks.
Awesome. Awesome. Great place to be live from.
Man, yep. Is that nothing's wrong with that at all? What's going on?
Absolutely. Not much, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. I appreciate you squeezing me in. I know you're a busy guy.
Oh my gosh, man. Sometimes I don't know left from right, but this is part of this world that we're in. The real estate world is a hustle, man. It's not a get rich scheme as people think it is, and sometimes it's not a deal where you can just kind of mosey along your way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'll jump right into it because I don't want to take too much of your time up. Do you mind telling me just a little bit more about yourself? Where are you from? How'd you, I know you said you've been in it for years and years now, but how'd you get into it originally?
Wow, uh, man, I could look all the way back to like 2001, 2002. I was in college, and it was a craze amongst a lot of friends I knew, associates I knew, and different things like that, just to own a home. So of course I was in college. I played college football or whatever. So I've always been used to no sleep and different stuff like that. So. Uh, I was running vending machines. I had all kinds. I was just always a hustler, man. Like one thing about real estate, a lot of people that I noticed that are really in the game and really do it well. Like they come from just different backgrounds, as in being creative, having the entrepreneurial spirit, where just different things. They could have a flower stand, a hot dog stand. I mean, it's all types of nature. But real estate has always been a go back to for me. Just even as when I think I want to get out of real estate and stuff like that, and I want to do something different for a while. That's the great thing about real estate. You can own properties and sell properties and take a break, and then you can kind of get right back to it. And it's
Right.
not like a lot of people would never notice.
Right.
So I kind of got into it in college. Got my first little crappy home for a good price, and didn't know what to do. Didn't want to live in it. I just had a house, and that's kind of how it started. It started a long time ago, back in the early 2000s, with just purchasing my first investment, but I actually still own it, man, which is
Awesome.
crazy. It's pretty
That is awesome.
crazy.
You own it outright at this point?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, I've been doing it so long. It's been off and on. Like most people leverage. I
Right.
leverage as well sometimes on certain things. And there's a lot of people that go in and get fix and flip funding. They get it's very creative now. It's so
Right.
creative now. It wasn't creative like that
Yeah.
5 and 10 years ago. It was a total different ball game. And that's some of the things that I've noticed over the time is that people with even money to lend have got creative on trying to partner on deals. So it's really creative, and there's so many different walks of earth when it comes to real estate now.
Right. This is kind of a side question, but I played football for 10 years, played or practiced a couple of years in college. I got to ask, where'd you play ball and what position did you play?
Well, I started my college career at University of Missouri. Then just went through some real ups and downs through there, and left there 98 through 2000, 2001, something like that. I set out for a year or two, and in Division One, your time never stops ticking on
Right.
eligibility. So then I decided to go back and finish. I had got a couple offers from different schools, and I ended up finishing my undergrad at Central Missouri State in
Cool.
Warrensburg, Missouri. And so I actually played football there, was an All-American, different stuff like that. So, I ended up, and then I went to the Chiefs for a quick little second, and I could have kept going, but I just felt no need to. I wanted to move into
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah. I mean, it's a grind for sure. I have a theory that sometimes athletes are drawn to real estate because the nature of, especially football, like the nature of playing football is you are going out every day and failing. Like that's what it's about. You go and you fail every day, and you take the risks, especially if you're playing certain positions, almost every position. But that's what entrepreneurship in general, but real estate especially, is all about. You're gonna fail. That's how you learn. I mean, you got to get in there and get dirty. You're not really into it until you are. And that's just something that I've always thought, and I think it's given me an edge because if you don't play sports at all, especially if you didn't grow up playing team sports, man, you're not necessarily conditioned to work with other people in the same way, and you're not necessarily conditioned to learn to lose and to learn to fail like you are, if you inevitably play sports for 10 or 15 years, it becomes second nature. So,
Man, you're totally correct about that. And the one thing is taught me and it's helped me, it's conditioned me to be competitive. It's conditioned me to get up when I didn't want to get up. Go lock that door, go turn off that light, go check to see if the water's dripping. I have rental tenants who have rental property. So, there's things that one thing I've learned, and I've even got from like Evan Carmichael and different people like that, is just like the do it now mentality. I've learned that if I have a rental tenant calling, I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, oh my God, I wonder what this is.
Every
What I
time.
mean? But sometimes I'll answer the phone really quick and it's nothing. Like it's something very stupid. So, I've learned to have a do it now mentality on a lot of things, just not on the rental side, but on the investment side, because it is a failing winning game.
Yeah. That's funny you say that. I always tell people, like, whenever I see one of my tenants' numbers pop up on my phone, my heart stops, because it's like, oh, shit, I'm about to spend money on something.
Oh, man, it's like you never know what it's going to be. And a lot of different things that I've had and I've done, I've had the worst. I've took the worst situations better than I have the little stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
that's some things that we all kind of incur and that we learn on the real estate side and also just on the rental property side, because there's so many different ways to do things. Heck, Airbnb is being popular now.
Right.
I mean, I'm actually like really considering, doing that, because you spend so much money and time on multiple properties when with some of the things I'm researching, Airbnb is actually performing. One property is performing
Right.
like 5,
Absolutely.
So sweet. Like the real estate's been a different game now.
Yeah, I'm definitely considered Airbnb, because whenever I travel now, I stay in an Airbnb, and if I stay with a bunch of my friends, we always end up paying, $2,000 for a few nights or something like that. It's like, man, they just paid their note at least, and they've got 28 days left in the month.
Yeah, so that's sweet.
Go ahead.
No, you're cool. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what market are you in? I don't know if I asked you that.
What do you mean, which market?
Are you invested in one city primarily, or are you kind of all?
Oh yeah. So right now I'm basically in the Kansas City market.
Okay.
I've learned just from experiment and different stuff like that. I've learned that just kind of keeping in a central location has been easier on me. I haven't had to get overly creative. I haven't had to hire a whole bunch of people. I've been actually I had hired property managers before. Different stuff like that. It didn't really work out the best for me. I know there's probably some really great companies out there, but see, I own a construction company too.
Right.
So it's easier for me to get things done than it is to be at the hand of somebody else, which is totally understandable. Like if you don't have like good help or somebody you could just call when things go wrong, then it kind of gets tough for different investors. So like when you're investing, I would obviously offer the advice of, try to, like Angie's List, handyman services, different stuff like that. Try to find somebody you can trust,
Right.
that can like do the little things for you, that won't like try to upsell you, oversell you, just try to do what needs to be done, and that gets tough in here, even for me sometimes.
Right. Yeah, a good handyman can be hard to come by. Sometimes it's harder to come by a good handyman than it is a great contractor.
Yeah, if any handyman, I'm hiring.
Yeah.
I'm hiring. Hey, if you're out there, because right now everybody's a rock star. The person I would never let touch my worst is anything is busy right now. So real estate's been great. It's at the tip top right now. So everybody be careful.
Sure. So there's probably a complex question given how long you've been in it, and given that you have a contracting company as well. But what does your business model kind of look like at this point?
My real estate business model.
Yeah.
So my real estate business model right now, and it sounds so simple, and I don't really, I'm not hating on anybody or how they construct or do their business, but my business model is, I'm kind of buying and selling higher end homes a little bit between 200,000 and 400,000 buy. I put in about 80 to 150. I resell. I try to make between 50 and 100K on each house, but I've been doing this for a while, so
Right.
It took a major step on me to change my business model from the market was so much different 5 years ago. You could buy where I'm at. You could buy a $50,000 to $80,000 home put 30 or 40 into it and still, gross about, 25 to 35 after real estate realtor commission, taxes, and, the whole shebang. But now the market has just got so ballistic where everyone is. I had to jump in a market where a lot of people aren't playing.
Right.
So therefore, it's actually worked out better for me to be in a larger market. But this is the deal, though. I've been doing it so long, I'm still getting cheaper deals for,
Right.
I either keep the rentals or I wholesale. So my business model right now is, I'm keeping 3 to 6 houses a year. I'm turning 4 to 5 houses a year. And that's kind of, because I know what I need to make, I know what I need to save, and I know what I need to reinvest. But I've been doing it so long that I still have a really good cash flow from the properties I've been keeping over 12 or 14 years. I can't remember how long it is, but
Right.
yeah. So that's kind of what my business model is.
Cool. That kind of brings me into my next question. Generally speaking, how do you come across deals? How are you finding the deals, given that it's 2019 and most people think you can't find it?
Well, man, it's kind of crazy. Like, almost like, I'm a real big believer in, in the power of the universe and how law of attraction and stuff like that. Like, when I want a house, I just get a house. Like, I say, okay, I'll write it down. Like, okay, this is what I want. And then it's weird because, like, I won't advertise. I won't do anything, and since I've been in it so long, somebody just randomly will just call me or text me like, hey, I know somebody wants to sell a house. I treat people really well. So, how you treat others is a big deal about how you find houses. I might, the MLS is I really don't buy off the MLS. I look on auction.com. I look at just different little, what do you want to call it? Not wholesale websites, but the auction websites.
Mm-hmm.
So look up real estate auction websites. And so I really don't worry about competition and stuff like that because, there's so much out here and it's all about timing and liquidity. And if you are getting financed, having your financing in place.
Right.
So like, my word of advice on that part is don't go look. If your credit is not the best or you're not for sure, you've never done it, do not go looking to buy for it. Like you're really, you don't want to start off bad with different people. You don't want to run a real estate agent or somebody like that. You don't want to run them to death. And then you're not even, have a clue how you're going to buy your deal. Then people start running from you because like right now the market is so busy. You do not want to run off a really good, agent that can almost fetch you a buyer sometimes,
right.
Or a seller,
Right.
Yeah.
Are you primarily, do you finance your own? I mean, I know you finance your own deals. Are you using your own cash or are you going to the bank given that you have a long history and you're getting probably a construction loan or something along those lines?
Well, I'm very creative. Like sometimes I'll buy it myself, then I'll refinance it with a construction loan, different stuff like that. I haven't done the fix and flip funding and stuff like that because I've just been doing it so long that my banking history is really good. So sometimes they know I buy modestly. I don't over leverage. I don't over invest. So I haven't really had to. I don't know how to say this. I really haven't had to oversell the deal that I was doing, even on a higher end deal. I haven't had to really go in there and knock on 10 different banks to get a deal done.
Right.
Even though it's really good to have more than one bank because they will lock up on you after so many deals in 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps to have the banks working with you because, I mean, I'm just starting to get I've wholesaled for the past several years. I'm just starting to get my rehab business going and building a portfolio. And so I'm still using hard money a lot, man. And it alters the deal entirely because it's expensive, especially when you're at the front end. And so, even when I'm talking to my contractor or realtor and running them through a property, I have to explain to them a lot. It's like I have to get a really good deal before I'm going to go forward with it because the money cost is just so high that it cramps up the whole deal. And I'm super conservative by nature. My dad was a contractor, so I have a knowledge of the fact that something's going to go wrong every time you walk into a deal. You got to know something's hiding from you that you're not going to see. and that money cost is just so high that it's I'm trying to get my history good so I can go back to some of these banks that have refinanced me for my rentals and start getting construction loans for them. So
Yeah, see, and I walk away from a lot of deals too as well because I always do the worst case scenario. Like my main things that I look at when I'm before I buy a home is the foundation. I mean, the foundation is everything. Like
right,
the foundation, and just making sure that the house isn't shifting uh, can make or break like huge, enormous costs. Now, if you like, I have a buddy that owns a foundation company, so I'm blessed in that area, you know.
yeah,
So, but if you see anything bulging out or in, you know, it might need peering, like that's might be something to run from, unless it's in an excellent area and you're getting an excellent deal. You know, that's
right,
the only way. But back to what you were saying on the hard lending part of it, you know, hard lending, people are not understanding that they're charging a percent right off tops. Like you might be
right,
3 or 4 grand in on the front end of the deal,
right,
and then you turn around and have real estate commission another 6 to whatever. So then you're 20 grand over, you know, right out there. So it's tough, you know. It's
yeah,
and people that get into it, they get ran out of the real estate business so fast because of the overhead, like the beginning and the end.
right.
They're thinking they're making this, oh, I'm making 20 grand, and you look up and like, I might have made $500 because
Right.
they didn't incur the front end and the back end and the real estate cost, the real estate commission to the agents.
Yeah. And for me, like I said, I wholesale so much that it's like I'll look at some deals and it's like, man, I have to be able to know, like, conservatively think I'm going to make 20 grand, because if I'm only going to make 10 grand, like I could conceivably make that off a wholesale deal and take no risk, take no money out of it. So it's definitely a grind to try to find deals right now. But it's I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I just moved to
Nice.
Chattanooga, Tennessee about a year ago because Nashville's so crazy that
Yeah.
it's very difficult to find a deal, because you're not just competing with an oversaturation of investors. You're competing with a bunch of investors that don't know what they're doing, and you're competing with
Yeah.
a bunch of wholesalers who just got started. And in a seller's head, those are all legitimate offers when they get them.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Most
you
definitely.
know,
You're right. You're right.
so Chattanooga's pretty hot, but it's not Nashville. So it's been
Yeah.
a good experience, and it's been a good experience to switch markets and have to kind of like rebuild and reassociate with everything I learned in the first few years of my business. But yeah, I can definitely resonate with the issues that financing can cause. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually, and you know, reviewing the deals after you got through the deal, like reviewing where the money went, and, you know, so you know what to incur when you get on your next deal, you know, and that's certain times I've been discouraged years ago in between, you know, years, just like, wow, like I thought I was doing so well and then I didn't make what I thought I should make. So you just,
right,
each deal you have to learn something from, you know.
for sure.
Every deal is going to be different than the other.
Yeah, I'm pretty OCD, so whenever I do anything, I've got several spreadsheets and like redundancies of, this is how much cash I have in. This is exactly what every cost I paid. Before I make any payment, I pull up the spreadsheet, make sure I type it in so I can keep up with it on the back end and on the front end.
Nice. That's the way to do it. I do the exact same thing. And that's how I know what it takes to rehab a property. And that's why I tell people, like, if you're not keeping track of every dime, you can't tell me. I know. And then I've had people go on deals like, oh, we can just do it for that. And they look up and they're like, how'd you know? I'm like, dude, the paper don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So, yeah. So most definitely, that's kind of where we're at, though, where my business model is and kind of how I operate a little bit.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, like I said, I checked out your Instagram. Obviously, I've been following you for a little bit. I see you speaking a lot. I appreciate all the videos. Do you speak at a lot of events? Have you ever written a book? I mean, what kind of educational stuff you got going on?
It's kind of funny you say that. So I'm actually in 3 to 6 months. I have a platform out on actually, like we're talking about right now, how to buy and sell a home, what to look for in a home, and just the ups and the downs, and how to decipher what's going on, because there's a lot of people out here that are like making it sound like it's glitter and gold, and I'm not out here to make it look bad. I'm out here to offer clarity, and the clarity is going to come from the years of experience I've had, the ups and downs I've had, and what to look for when you're actually going in a property. Like you're going in a property, you should immediately go to 2 or 3 things. Do a walk around the outside, inside, and then certain things to look for. And I'm going to offer a lot of that. I've been real deep in, trying to stay motivated every day because, even me, I have to listen to my own videos some
Of
days
course.
because, I'm dealing with multiple contractors, multiple people on a daily basis. And, and it gets discouraging for one, and for two, it gets tiresome, because
Yeah.
you're having to do things that a 9 to 5 is not doing, and so
Right.
you're looked upon a little differently because you're like, what are you doing? I got to send this email back real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
So delegating your time is something that you have to really work on. So yeah, so really, I'll be having a platform coming out in the next 3 to 6 months that's going to offer a little clarity and a little help to people out there that's getting into real estate, actually in this sketchy real estate world, because a lot of people's in it and a lot of people think that it's a get rich scheme. It's a solid situation, but you just have to go into it properly.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote an ebook. That's what my, Instagram got built on. And it's about wholesaling, but I mean, the whole thing of it is, you can't think of wholesaling as a get rich quick scheme. You just got to learn through it, learn to build on it. And as you start to build up some cash flow, start cherry picking the best deals. And that's the best way to do it, is to take the long-sighted outlook and just know that it's, if you stay in it, it'll make you wealthy. But, if you get greedy, it'll make you poor real fast.
Yeah, it will, and that's another thing. I'm actually trying to talk myself into wholesaling more than what I really am, because it really is. It helps you buffer your income, and it helps you. You want to build income so you can invest in more real estate as well.
Right.
And my problem is I just keep keeping renting. I have so many
Man.
renters that follow me. I end up renting everything that I think I'm gonna wholesale. I end up having a renter right then and there. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
because different people have different mottos. Some people say keep everything. Some
Right.
people say wholesale is kind of you just got to pick and choose, which way you want to go about it.
Yeah, I always tell people when they ask me what they should do or how they should get in, I'm like, the first thing you need to decide is what you want from your life, because that's going to kind of dictate what your business model is. Is like, where do you want your life to go? Like I like to travel a lot, so I've always wholesaled because it's it's hands off a lot of the times. It can be very hands on, and then I've started getting the cash flow properties as well, so I can have that passive income. So hopefully here in the next few years, I can have a lot more freedom to do things like travel. And I'm a musician, so I like to have time to put in to playing music. That's what I want in my life. So that's everything is built off of what I want from my life, as opposed to just income or wealth. Which I love money, I love wealth, but like these other things come first. Is a level of happiness that is like rooted in this. So
and I have that type of talk with myself weekly.
Right.
The Starbucks Wi-Fi kicked in on me. Where am I at? Where am
It's all
I
good.
going? So definitely, just to keep your level head and stay on that track that you want to do. Real estate is one of those, you have to have your plan written down and you have to revisit it, because you can get off track really fast in the real estate world, because there's so many distractions, quick sales, quick buys, and bad investments as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I know you got to get back to it, man. So is the best place for people to follow you for the next 3 to
Yeah,
6
my
months?
phone was ringing just a second ago.
On Instagram. Yeah. Should they be following you on Instagram, everyone?
Oh yes. Follow me on Instagram at JLM underscore construction underscore LLC. It's on here as well. Daily motivation. I show a lot of projects, a lot of before and afters, and sometimes I just do some goofy stuff. Sometimes just to kind of shake it up a little bit.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time, brother. I will talk to you soon. Good luck. Keep killing it, and thank you for your time. Thank you for the motivation.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I'll definitely stay in contact and check your page out and look for what you got coming up next.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.